All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Dearborn Public School regular board meeting. It's April 13, and the time is 7:05. Can we call the meeting to order? And
Trustee Bazzi.
Here.
Trustee D'Ambrosio.
Here.
Trustee Mosip.
Here.
Trustee Pelichkov.
Here.
Trustee Subah.
Here.
Trustee Zahir here. President Al-Jahmi.
here.
The next item is a pledge of allegiance to the flag. We'd like to welcome Ms. Alia Jabber, the interim assistant principal of Salina Intermediate, who will introduce students that will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
When you're all done, you're going to walk up there, okay? I'll let you know.
Good evening. The students would like to introduce themselves. So go ahead, say your name. Say your name.
My name is Alina Musleh.
My name is Dina Al-Jahmi.
My name is Khalid Hani Hahara.
My name is Dean Zindani. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is for them.
We welcome for the playing of the national anthem, Ali Elzaghir. Please stand.
And they've got certificates.
Diana?
You can sit down now.
Is this Dean?
Thank you.
Congratulations on that. I know about it. How are you?
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Do we get to take a
Great
picture?
job.
No? Oh, all right. I kind of want to take a picture.
Thank you.
Good job, guys. Ali, good job. Chair, is this
Next
item on the agenda, adopt a school music program? Is anybody speaking about that, or that's just?
Yes.
Okay,
I
great.
would
All right.
I'm going to say a few words and introduce Miss Taylor. So Micallef Yunus was selected to be part of the Mr. Holland's Opus Adopt a School program. The program connects qualifying schools in need of musical instruments with donors interested in supporting music education. Micallef Yunus will receive high-priority instruments and supplies for band, orchestra, and elementary music benefiting the entire K-8 population. Please help me welcome Hannah Taylor, Micallef Yunus music teacher.
Hello. So Ms. Sarar summed it up pretty well, but I'm excited to share with you about the Adopt a Schools program. Mr. Holland's Opus is a foundation whose mission is to keep music alive in schools nationwide by providing instruments and supplies to economically disadvantaged programs. The application process was really extensive for this grant program, including a pre-application, extensive application process, interviews with both myself and our building's elementary music teacher, Ty Kimmerly. Our inclusion into this program has led to the creation of our school's campaign page. I've been assured that it's going to be shared with all of the members of the board if it hasn't already. This page shares the story of our students and our program, which includes approximately 131 students, or more than a quarter of Eunice Middle School. In addition, of course, to our elementary school students who all receive music education as a part of their weekly specials. This page will be used to facilitate donors, primarily connecting supporters of Mr. Holland's Opus Foundation with our school with the incentive to support. That being said, community members are welcome to donate if they feel so inclined, and we would love if anyone in our community wants to take part in that, but it's not necessary. There's no end date to our campaign, and our campaign has already been kickstarted with an initial $1,000 donation from the Van Halen Association through Mr. Holland's Opus. In addition to connecting us with financial support, the foundation has access to high-quality instruments and materials at lower rates than the standard rates that we get from the music shops, meaning that the dollars that we raise will go further than they would with a standard purchase. Overall, our acceptance into this program won't just benefit our middle school students, but will benefit our entire K-8 program. And the new instruments and supplies that we are expected to receive are expected to last upwards of 10 years, so providing long-term support. Lastly, while I have you, I'd like to acknowledge some people that helped with the process. Ty Kimmerly, our elementary music teacher, was a vital support in making this happen, as well as our administrators, Mr. Abu Salah, who is here tonight, as well as Stephen Rios and Sarah Glasser, our assistant principals, as well as our counselor, Ahlam Hussein, whose hard work in our counseling department and scheduling expertise make the inclusion of these 131 students having music in their schedule possible. I'm happy to take any questions, but I'm excited to share the news with you. Thank you for listening.
Trustee
So,
D'Ambrosio.
what is the cost of your program? Do you have an idea how much is going to be spent or how much you're looking for?
So our current fundraising goal is $16,500.
Okay.
And there's no end date to the campaign, so whenever those wishes are fulfilled, we'll be able to receive that.
So I'm going to kick off your campaign tonight from the Dearborn Exchange Club for $1,000.
Thank you so much.
Trustee Zar.
Ms. Taylor, thank you. As a former trombone player in my middle school band, I just want to say thank you. Music gets so overlooked sometimes, unfortunately. Music and the arts in general in our schools, especially in a school district our size. So I just want to say thank you for what you're doing. And as someone who, I taught music at Fortson a long time ago too, beside our old choir teacher named Tony Boombaka, and such a great experience there. So thank you for everything you do, and I'll echo Trustee D'Ambrosio. You can count on $1,000 from me too as well.
Thank you so much. And if you're ever looking to pick back up those trombone skills, I'm sure we can find a trombone for you to try out if you're ever looking to get back
Don't
behind
tempt
that.
me. It's very possible that I will say yes to that.
I mean it from the deepest depths of my heart, truly. Please come on by. Thank you.
Trustee Mas.
Ms. Taylor, thank you so much, and thank you to all of the music teachers that we have in the district. 3 years ago, Dr. Maleko, our former superintendent, came to this board and said that we definitely need to invest in music. And we saw a decline in music enrollment at the high school, and the reason being it's because students were not getting it at the middle school in a high level. So I'm glad that now it's being offered. Trustee Subh and I attended the pasta dinner at Edsel Ford, and the music department was just amazing. So thank you, and thank you to all of the music teachers that we have. We're truly blessed as a district.
I will echo the sentiments. Thank you so much, Ms. Taylor. Just a personal note, I got the opportunity to visit Ms. Taylor's classroom a couple weeks ago at Eunice. And she so graciously gave me a tour and showed me, all the things that they're working on and the equipment and instruments that were available. And I know, she's able to do so much with what she has now, and so I'm so excited for this opportunity to see what you can do moving forward. But this goes to all of our music teachers and all of our programs. As a current musician, again, we all care deeply about the arts and the music. So however we can help and support, please let us know. Thank you so much.
I do want to thank you and echo, and I want to thank our trustees for their donations. This is a good way to start in giving back, but we really appreciate music and the art, and when I watched the kids play and how they were engaged, it brought back memories when I was in Salina, and I remember my music teacher, Mr. Duck. Funny name, but it's an enjoyable time that I had, and I'm glad that the district is investing back in music and the art. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
thank you to the
If I
UNIS
might
team.
just say a few things, I think, thank you, and to you and your colleagues for what you've done to grow the program. But I do want to say that this growth and this celebration and this point of pride is a collection of a comprehensive belief that this is important across the district. So to everybody who, from central office to the buildings, to the department, to the funding, it takes everybody working together, and I think this is the reality that we see as a result. So congrats.
Thank you all for your support.
Next item.
The next item is a superintendent's update.
Okay, thank you. I will begin with retirements. We have a long list. 'Tis the season. Margaret Ackerman, 27 years of service. Kathleen Adams, 38 years of service. Ronald Arbanowski, 46 1/3 years of service. Kevin Bruce, 36 1/2 years of service. Rada Burks, 30 years of service. Jennifer Casebolt, 30 years of service. Kreste Sahanowitz, 26 years of service. Lori Chavez, 6 1/3 years of service. Kimberly Crispin, 32 years of service. Lisa Dietrich, 34 years of service. Jennifer Domino, 35 years of service. Karen Founts, 25 2/3 years of service. Jacqueline Kostovsky, 27 years of service. Kimberly Makowski, 29 years of service. Angela Maynor, 27 years of service. Jamie McShane, 26 years of service. David Mustinen, 25 1/2 years of service.
Whoa.
Kristen Palmer, 28 years of service. Kathleen Rockwell, 12 years of service. Rada Sabra, 22 years of service. Dawn Shuitt, 37 years of service. Nadra Shami, 25 years of service. Yvette Spencer, 15 1/2 years of service. Adrienne Tata, 25 years of service. Lisa Watson, 11 1/3 years of service. That's the end of that list. Thank you all for your time and dedication to Dearborn Schools.
Next item.
Moving on.
Oh, that's your whole,
I have none.
oh, no, you can do your whole, yeah.
Thank you. Just a reminder to everybody that April 29th is our Teacher of the Year celebration. The Alberta Murahead Students' Choice Teacher of the Year Awards is Wednesday, April 29th at the Performing Arts Center. It begins at 4 p.m. April is National Autism Acceptance Awareness Month, dedicated to fostering inclusion, promoting research, and celebrating neurodiversity throughout the month. Many of us were tagged to participate in the Blue Hands United Challenge, which was fun and an engaging way to spread awareness and acceptance this month. April has many awareness and appreciation days. Thank you to all of our employees who are being recognized this month. Right now, I'd like to welcome Dearborn Police Chief Shahin to the podium to speak a little bit about the simulator grant.
Good evening, trustees. Interim Superintendent Saror. As many of you know, the city of Dearborn, our police department has been tackling, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Have been tackling traffic safety in the city head-on for many years. As part of that initiative, there's an enforcement component. Last year, having written more tickets than ever before. There's an engineering component that many of you have seen around the city, from signage to redesigning streets to make them safer. And what brings me here today is the education component. And so, as you might know, the leading cause of death among teenagers is traffic crashes, and 16 to 19-year-olds are the most likely age to get into a traffic crash. With that in mind, last year, we partnered, the first of its kind in the country, with the Oakland Police Academy. And if you remember, you saw that trailer that traveled to the 3 major high schools. And in that trailer, you had police academy instructors that took newly minted drivers and taught them safe driving habits. What's really interesting about this driving simulator, it's state-of-the-art. It can introduce rain, a tire blowout, pedestrians, and these young drivers have to navigate that. So this year, we secured a grant through the state of Michigan to continue that program for over $50,000 because there was so much success with it last year. Last year, we had 400 high school students go through it at the 3 major high schools. This year, we're going to bring it to all 6 high schools in the city of Dearborn. So not only our public schools, but our parochial schools as well. We look to get over 1,000 students in it. I'm excited about it, and I just wanted to highlight that for the community and for the schools. And I appreciate your partnership.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions for the chief? I'll move on.
Yeah, please.
Now we're going to have our director, Bob Attee, and I believe Chris Kenniburg approach the podium to speak a little bit about the Google Gemini collaboration. DPS, Dearborn Schools, has joined an innovative cohort of educators dedicated to exploring the transformative power of Google artificial intelligence in the classroom, and Bob and Chris will tell you more about that.
Good evening, Superintendent Saror, ladies and gentlemen from the Board of Education. I'm Bob Attee, Director of Instructional Technology, and with me is Chris Kenniburg, our Assistant to the Regional Manager and Supervisor of Networks. And so what we'll do today is share with you a little bit about this partnership that we're working on both with staff and with the Student Advisory Council. I'm going to turn it over to Chris first.
Hello, President, Superintendent, and board members. We had over 130 teachers apply for this pilot, and we had to randomly select 10 to participate. And what this is a Google for Education is a tool, and that is really core in how we educate, communicate, and operate in our district. And AI is more than a buzzword with Google. Gemini AI is infused into every Google product, from Google Docs to Gmail to an incredible study tool in Notebook LM. And Google puts the power of AI directly into the tools that we all use every day here. This training partnership with Google allows our teachers direct access to Google staff, and they'll have additional access to resources, be able to provide feedback, and participate in collaboration opportunities. And Google is focused on the ethical use of AI, which isn't always present in a lot of the tools. And Bob is going to speak to the Google presentation to our students in the Student Advisory Council.
Thanks, Chris. And so a couple of weeks ago, we were able to have a representative from Google work with Dr. Violet Soydan and members from our Superintendent Student Advisory Council. During this time, they were able to talk about the ethical use of AI. We had a lot of our students saying that they use it. And so we talked about the importance of using a closed system where it protects our data and protects our student personal identifiable information. And so as they were able to go through the presentation with the students saw the value of using AI as a tool to assist in their learning. And what they were able to do is work on it with part of the curriculum that they're doing with anti-bullying. And so the Expect Respect curriculum they're working on, developing videos to go with it and infographics. And as part of the training right there, they were able to see how we can use it, again, as a tool to assist us, not just something to do the work for us. And with that, we really looked at, this is a wonderful starting point for our students, and AI is a good starting point as a tool to use like that. And we hope that this will be the first of many opportunities for staff and students in our district to really leverage the power of AI. That's all I have here today. Any questions?
Any questions?
This is great, and I've mentioned this many times, is how do we take those tools and be able not just to use them, but to create. So I know we're doing a pilot or some kind of just a small program right now. Are we envisioning this to go further, engaging teachers in the future?
Absolutely. What we're looking at doing is really standardizing the tools that we're able to use with our staff with AI, because right now there are so many different tools that are out there. And if everyone wants a little piece of this and that, it's going to be all over the board. Standardizing it and finding the best tools that are educationally appropriate, FERPA and COPPA compliant, and protect our personal identifiable information is key to what we want. Chris and I have been presenting the last 3 years before our elementary and secondary staff at PDs on how to use Gemini and other tools that are out there, including Brisk and School AI. What we're looking to do is to give teachers a good tool belt with the tools that we standardize so that it helps them out with their everyday role, and students how they can become powerful learners and leverage this technology.
Amazing.
Okay, Mr. Attee, where do we see this expanding to? Are we going to do a very slow roll? This is a very controlled environment with these students, and I like the idea that we're piloting it in a way that we can monitor. But once it gets into the mainstream buildings and classrooms, are we anticipating still having some kind of monitoring system so that we understand, maybe social studies and English classes will find it more a useful tool than some other curriculums, or maybe the art classes, journalism, debate. I mean, how are we going to anticipate? Is it just going to be let loose school-wide, or are we going to try to kind of control how we introduce it and make sure that we have the teachers on board with that rollout as well?
That is a great question. And as we are doing a slow rollout, one of the next steps that we have is coming to the board with our AI policy and guidelines for all staff.
Yeah.
We've been going over this during the Technology Advisory Committee, made up of teachers and administrators in the district. We've had a small group that focused on how to use AI come together and develop the policy and guidelines. So as part of our rollout in the fall 2026, 2027, part of our required courses will have a component with AI use ethically so that staff will know how to be able to use it. We also have a feature called Class Tools, where teachers will be able to kind of show what sites students are able to get to and whatnot like that as well too. So we can kind of control what level of access they have with Class Tools. Our goal is to really go slow with this so that we can go fast later, because once staff really understand how to use the tool and how to leverage it right there, that'll be the most important step. And then going forward, how we're able to use it in those subjects like social studies and science. And what we want to be able to do is to continue that learning opportunity for staff.
Just one more question. Is there a way to put a fast stop on it if something really bad happens and we experience something we didn't anticipate?
Yes, and well, like what Chris was saying too, it's embedded in a lot of our tools that we have out there. Gemini itself, we are able to pull the plug on that, as well as with any other tools like Brisk or School AI. With some of the other features that are in there that are embedded, that's a little bit of a harder part right there, but we are able to pull it on Gemini.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
For the pilot program, what grades did you guys pilot?
So that's the best part. We wanted to get representatives from each of the buildings, and so we asked each principal to get at least 1 to 2 staff members that would be able to pilot with the other tools that we were using. With the Google pilot, we opened it up to the district, and we were trying to randomize that and make sure that we didn't have duplicates from the same building.
And is this going to be, is the thought process here, this is going to be something that's rolled out where, I had to use a word required, but well, like let's say a classroom says, you know what, we don't want to use AI tools in our classroom. Is that an option?
Absolutely. Again, tools are there. It's sort of, I look at it like I can use a pencil or I can use a pen, my choice like that. And the same thing with teachers and the technology tools that are out there and available.
Do you want to say something?
You mentioned it, that it's going to come to our policy committee, so I look forward to reading that. So thank you.
I do want to say that we have to accept the fact that AI is here. And a lot of organization are creating committees for policy, policy committees, ethical use, and trying to figure out how to use it, but still be secured. A lot of health organization, government agencies are making sure that, people are not using it to, for private information and sharing that with AI. But there's a lot of values for it. I think the biggest, and I'm glad you said that, you said you want to assist, in doing the work, but not do the work for them. I think my biggest worry is that even though I love using AI, I use Gemini, I use ChatGPT, Claude, so many different ones, but my biggest worry is, for me, it's okay because I already had the basis when I was younger. And for the younger generation, we don't want them to rely on AI to do things for them. And there's a balance where we have to make sure that they learn how to do things and only use AI to be more efficient and not to do the work for them. I've heard of places where kids in virtual schools use AI to do most of their work. And so that's one of the other things I was going to ask our school district, is to make sure that it's not abused, and because I worry that we would have, especially at the high school level, graduates that graduated using AI. That's scary, because once they get to college, then who's going to do the work for them? So I'm glad you're going through the policy committee. I'm glad you guys are doing an ethical committee. But AI is here, and we have to deal with it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good job.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. I have a few more updates. April is also National Arab American Heritage Month. And this month we celebrate and pay tribute to the contributions of Arab Americans. We have two principals that are on their way to Washington, D.C., Mr. Rummel, Smith Principal, and Mahafayad, Assistant Principal. If you remember earlier this year, they were recognized as our Principal and AP of the Year by the state of Michigan, and they will be heading off to Washington, D.C. this week, where they'll be recognized for being named as State Principal and Assistant Principal of the Year. And at this national conference, 4 state awardees will be chosen to receive the national award. I'll try not to get greedy, but I think, I hope they know a good thing when they see it over there. Congratulations to David Kniezek, who was appointed as the Henry Ford College president on April 10, and he's here with us today. Would you like to come up for a few minutes? Introduce yourself to everybody. I just put you on the spot, so I guess you have no choice now. Congratulations.
Good evening. Chair Elzaghir, members of the Board of Trustees, and to Interim Superintendent Sir. Again, my name is David Kniezek. I'm so deeply grateful for the vote that was taken last week, and looking forward to the opportunities to engage in the next steps of that process as we work to finalize everything. We were talking a lot about music earlier today, so I'd be remiss if I didn't point out that for any of our students in Dearborn Public Schools or in the surrounding area, if they have an interest in continuing their music education, we offer a great Associate of Arts in Music at Henry Ford College. We also offer a 1-year certificate around recording arts, and then a number of choral and performance opportunities for folks as well. We've got 3 concerts coming up here, 2 at the end of April, and 1 in the beginning of May for anybody that might want to come out and support the college and support our music program. I'll just very briefly say that the reason I'm so excited about this opportunity is because I'm from this community. My family has very deep ties to Dearborn, and particularly Dearborn Public Schools. My mom retired as a lunch lady from Dearborn High School. My aunt taught for 32 years here in the district at Oakman and at Bryant. And when I was going into education, before my career took a bit of a sidestep, I was doing all of my practicums at Bryant and my subbing at Bryant as well before I got into the elected route. And so one of my priorities throughout the process that I tried to articulate was my deep belief in strengthening the relationship between Henry Ford College and the P-12 system. That's something that I'm trying to demonstrate by my presence here today, listening, learning, re-engaging with folks that I have a long-standing relationship with, and building new relationships with folks here as well. So again, deeply grateful for the opportunity and very excited about the partnership that we have ahead of us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congrats again.
Thank you again.
I have only one more update, and I wanted to highlight our high school graduation rates. I just got this data today. As of 2025, so last spring, the state of Michigan's graduation rate was 84%. Our district's graduation rate as of last year was almost 93%. Fortin was around 96%, Dearborn High around 96%, and Etzel Ford are almost 100%, 97.97%. 10 years ago, the state of Michigan's graduation rate was 80%. Our overall districts was 90%. Fortin was at 93, Dearborn High at 92, Etzel Ford at 88. So a lot of growth, and I just wanted to recognize that today. And that wraps up my updates. Thank you.
Next item.
Next items are recognition and acknowledgements, starting with commendations. Sure. Ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, we could.
Next item is employee recognition.
Okay.
Good evening. I'd like to ask Hannah Alman Taylor, who you just met earlier today, to join me. Megan Fraterelli from Hague. This is Hannah. You met her earlier. And Carrie Schoolmaster, come on up. Let's give them a really big round of applause. Fraterelli. Okay, so I was close. Megan Fraterelli. They're all fabulous. So I will say a few words about each of them and then give them an opportunity as well. Hannah is a music teacher at Micallef Middle School, 4th year with Dearborn Schools, and she's nominated for her incredible dedication and the tireless efforts she's put into building the music program at Eunice. Hannah's hard work and tireless efforts to inspire is greatly appreciated. And I have to say, you should see what she did with the kids last summer during Summer Discovery at Micallef. She had them put on a play in a very small window of time. So thank you, Hannah. Hannah, do you want to say a few words? No pressure, no pressure. I will say that Hannah also has always given us really a ton of feedback about what the music program needs, and we value that, and hopefully, I believe we've implemented quite a bit and will continue to collaborate. Megan is the secretary at Hague Elementary. She's also the office manager. Megan has been with Dearborn Schools for 4 years, and I feel like it's been so much longer. We are thankful for you, Megan, and she is nominated for working tirelessly behind the scenes to keep Hague running smoothly and for always making sure the staff feels supported. Megan's presence puts everyone at ease, and she is the heartbeat of the building. What a compliment. And if you know Megan personally, she's a fabulous person as well.
Hi, guys. I just wanted to say that I'm giving back to the community that fed into me for all those years. I'm a proud Hague owl. I was at Hague in kindergarten in Miss Matrix's class. So to be back at Hague is really a pleasure. And I just love my community, and it's a pleasure to get to do what I do every day. So thank you for letting me do it.
Carrie Schoolmaster. Carrie Schoolmaster is a special ed coordinator in her 26th year with Dearborn Schools. She's nominated for her exceptional leadership, constant willingness to help, and genuine care for everyone. Carrie leads by example and absolutely deserves the highest praise. Absolutely. Carrie, please come say a few words.
I just want to say how blessed I am to be able to be part of this community and how involved everyone is and the goals to, continue to grow. And I can't express the gratitude I feel for being able to be nominated by my peers. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Okay, I think that means we're back to commendations, Mr. Musselman? Okay, next item is commendations.
Hi everyone, my name is Naya Ahmedi from Dearborn High School. I'm a junior.
Hi, my name is Tasneem Darwish, and I'm also a junior at Etzelford High.
Let's just get started. Okay. Commendations to Sonia Dixit on earning her Chief Financial Officer certification from the Michigan School Business Officials Organization. The voluntary 5-year certification reflects a high degree of academic and professional preparation. Commendations to Tracy Pendred, Elementary District Instructional Coach, for representing the district as a presenter at the 2026 Michigan Reading Association Conference. Her session on building collaborative literacy cultures using an asset-based mindset strengthened the coaches and educators statewide. Ms. Pendred's leadership continues to have a positive impact on our professional learning community and the growth of our teachers. Commendations to bus drivers Rachel Nicholas and Halat Nusaiba. Both drivers were selected to receive a 2026 Wayne County Excellence in Transportation Award for providing or supporting safe student transportation. They will be honored during a banquet on April 18th. Commendation to Dearborn High video students who earned a record high 23 nominations from the Regional Student Production Awards from the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. A total of 13 students earned nomination this year. Jessie Good earned 10 nominations, and Amina Toomey earned 9 nominations. Both are poised to break the record for most career wins in Michigan. All of the nominated movies will be shown at the WDHS Film Festival scheduled for May 15th and 16th at Dearborn High. Commendations to Edsel Ford High School orchestra students. On March 6th, they welcome student musicians from Bryant, O.L. Smith, and Stout Middle Schools for a special school event. Following their ensemble performances directed by Matthew Question, Ryan Cupp, and Zach Thompson, respectively, students received expert instruction from distinguished conductor Joseph Deller, focusing on technique and collaborative artistry. Commendations to the Dearborn High basketball team for both their regional championship win and for being featured on CBS News for competing while many of the players were fasting for Ramadan. Commendations to the Dearborn High Model UN delegation. The group was honored with the Spirit of Sparty Award, which recognizes individuals or groups who embody the pride, tradition, and dedication associated with Michigan State University, often highlighting exceptional sportsmanship, positivity, and service. Individual Model UN winners include senior and club presidents Adriana Deep with the Book Award and junior Muhammad Ali Bash for Outstanding Delegate representing Japan in the Women's Rights Council. The club is overseen by Sarah Sabah. Thank you.
Commendations to Dearborn United bowling coach Paul Markin. He was named Division I Bowling Coach of the Year by the Michigan Interscholastic Bowling Coaches Association. This is tremendous honor and a well-deserved recognition of the outstanding work Coach Markin has done with the bowling program. Commendations to Dearborn High students in the peer-to-peer program, who in March attended an annual University of Michigan conference that looks at student depression on college campuses. Professionals and students from across the country come together at the event to look at recent research and practical advances for understanding mental illnesses among young people. Commendations to Edsel Ford High students, Gabe Ettard, Ryan Helka, Violet Deller, Zahra Al-Muthaffar, Marcus Medula, and Victor Belekzik. They each earned Superior Division I ratings at the MSBOA State Solo and Ensemble Festival. Commendations to the Edsel Ford Performing Arts Department for hosting the 8th Annual Pasta Dinner, Music Showcase, and Silent Auction. The event was well attended, and the money raised will help support the Edsel Ford Instrumental Music Program. Commendations to the Edsel Ford Student Council and Advisor Danielle Plutsky for putting on a great Charity Week event in March. Students raised awareness and collected more than $5,000 for Zaman, a local charity. Kudos to the Thunderbird community for their generosity. Commendations to the Dearborn High robotics team for its recent successes. The team competed twice over spring break. In the second event, the team received the Autonomous Award based on the robot's ability to sense its surroundings, position itself on or onboard equipment appropriately, and execute tasks. The team is coached by Iona Veskin. Commendations to Duval Elementary 4th grader Sawyer Schluscher for earning the Outstanding Interpretation Award for Photography in the State PTA Reflections Competition. This prestigious honor is equivalent to first place in the state. For this incredible achievement, Sawyer was awarded $800 and the Duval PTA received $200. Commendations to Charlene Hughes, Abigail Freed, and Adrian Brown for leading the Duval Green Club. Once again, Duval was given the highest green school designation, which is the evergreen status. Thank you.
Thank you. Amr, Trustees are.
Trustees.
I wanted to let you know that we're inviting all of our reflections winners at the May board meeting so that we can see what they did and who got to the state level.
All right, the next item is Scholar Athletes Recognition.
Good evening, members of the board and Superintendent Soar. I stand before you tonight to celebrate a student athlete who defies the very best of Dearborn Public Schools. As many of you know, the Van Patrick Memorial Award is an award given by the City of Dearborn Recreation Department in conjunction with Dearborn Public Schools. It is the Heisman of our city awards, given to the single most outstanding senior student athlete who excels in the classroom, in the community, and across multiple areas of play. This year, that honor belongs to Dearborn High's Carl Wolski. To understand why Carl was chosen, you only have to look at his jersey, or rather, his 4 different jerseys. In an era when many athletes are pressured to specialize in just one sport, Carl chose a different path. He chose to lead in every season, on the football field, on the pitch, on the basketball court, and on the track. Carl is a true four-sport athlete, a feat that requires incredible time management, physical discipline, and a deep-seated loyalty to his teammates. Carl embodies all of those. Carl has signed to continue his academic and athletic career at Alma College, where he'll play football. Congrats, Carl. On behalf of the board and the superintendent, I'd like to present you with this award. Thank you.
Congratulations, Carl. I'm seeing your mom with tears in her eyes, and I don't blame her one bit. I went to high school with your dad, and he's the definition of kind versus nice. He's just a kind man, and I know your mom is as well, and I'm happy for your parents as much as I'm happy for you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Yeah, I do want to say something. Last year, I'm on the rec commission, and last year I was a part of the Van Patrick Selection Committee. And it's amazing when you meet these young men that are athletic, but also academic strong. It's when you talk to them, it's amazing. And I would say this award really is an important award. Unfortunately, we could not make the presentation because we had a special meeting, but it's definitely deserved. And those that get it, it's a major award in my book. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Although Carl is the one that was present, I'd like to acknowledge all of the nominees. We have Sienna Maru from Dearborn High, Maya Harman and Abdullah Saleh from Etzel Ford, Sarah Zorka and Firas Awadallah from Fortson, and we have middle school nominees, middle school student nominees. Let's give them a minute and then recognize who they are. Bryant had Hannah Hamoud and Hussein Fayyad. Lori, Hussein Saad and Naveen Swaydan. Salina, Bayan Shahid and Adam Al-Gahmi. Smith, Maya Bahsoon and Noah Smith. Stout, Hannah Salami and Fuad Murshid. Yunus, Noor Sharafuddin and Muhammad Hussein. And finally, Woodworth, Khadija Alawiya and Yasser On Allah.
Oh, no.
All right, next.
Next item is acknowledgement of donations.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Trustees and Superintendent Saror. I'm here to acknowledge our donations for this evening. Can you all hear me?
Mic up.
Sure. Better?
Yes.
Okay, great. The first, we have a grant of $345.40 has been offered to Howard Elementary School by the Dearborn Education Foundation to be used for novel study for the fifth grade class. Second, we have a grant of $732.80 has been offered to Bryant Middle School by the Dearborn Education Foundation to be used for binders for the 7th grade class. A donation of $2,000 has been offered to Salina Intermediate School by the Dearborn Education Foundation to be used for the space creation for comfortable seating, lighting, and decor. A donation of $2,000 has been offered to Salina Intermediate School by the Dearborn Education Foundation to be used for Writers in Residence project. And finally, a donation of $3,000 has been offered to the Dearborn High School by the Dearborn Education Foundation to be used for the Health Occupation Students of America International Leadership Conference. And that concludes our donations. Thank you to the Dearborn Education Foundation coming through.
Next item is approval of minutes of the following Dearborn Board of Education meetings. The Building and Site Committee meeting, March 9th, 2026, Board Report 25-112. Finance Committee, March 9th, 2026, Board Report 25-113. And the regular P12 meeting, March 9th, 2026, Board Report 25-114. I'm looking for someone to make any necessary corrections and move approval of these minutes.
So move.
I'll support.
Second. Any corrections?
I had one correction to the regular meetings for the 9th meeting, March 9th, 2026. Toward the bottom, I said if we are looking at private sectors. Okay, so sorry, has been corrected. So I read it as secrets before, so.
Okay, all right.
I'm not looking at private secrets, we're looking at private sectors, yes. So thank you for that correction, maybe Joanne or Catherine.
Did it. All right, so hearing no corrections, may we attach a unanimous roll call to this motion?
Yes.
All right, motion is approved. Thank you.
Next item is union leadership commentary. This section of the Board of Education meeting is being added to further enhance the already strong commitment and longtime partnership between district administration and all bargaining units. Both instructional and non-instructional union members serve on a wide variety of standing and ad hoc committees that drive the work and decision-making in the Dearborn Public Schools. In addition, administration meets monthly with the leadership team of all unions, as well as a group meeting with union presidents. These meetings are not required, but are an extension of the collaborative partnership that has long existed in the Dearborn Public Schools. This section will further enhance the commitment to valuing all suggestions, views, and opinions brought forth by all staff members in the district. And the one representative we have here today is from the Dearborn Federation of Teachers, Ms. Kathi Martin.
Good evening.
Honest, I had no idea what Bob and Chris were going to talk about today when I decided to talk about this. Really, I'm here because there's been a lot of backlash towards technology in education, and we've been using tech in education long enough where we now have data about the damage that it's doing. So I'm here to talk about that. Also in light of the lawsuits that iReady is dealing with. I think that's something that we really need to think about. So, you know, it's surprising, but I'm saying that technology is not always better for our students. In fact, I'm here to urge us to thoughtfully reconsider and in many cases step back from our reliance on technology in our classrooms. Over the past decade, we've rapidly increased the use of devices, software, and screen-based learning tools. This shift was well-intentioned. We were told it would personalize learning, increase engagement, and better prepare students for the future. But what we're seeing in practice tells a much more complicated story. First, I have like a bunch of points. So first, technology is fundamentally changing how students learn, and it's not always for the better. Many students are struggling with attention, focus, and stamina. When learning is constantly mediated through a screen, it becomes harder to engage deeply, persist through challenges, and develop critical thinking skills. The quick-click, instant feedback nature of technology can unintentionally discourage patience, reflection, and true problem-solving. And we are absolutely seeing that in the classroom. Second, increased screen time is taking a toll on students' well-being. We're seeing higher levels of anxiety, decreased social interaction, and fewer opportunities for meaningful face-to-face communication. Schools should be places where students learn to collaborate, communicate, and build relationships, and not just interact with a device. I have seen that some people in the district are reading The Anxious Generation. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. And that book is about the use of technology and how, as technology use has increased, we've seen mental health issues increase as well. It's a really good read for those of you who have not read it. Third, from a developmental standpoint, we're seeing noticeable impact on students' fine motor skills. As learning shifts to tapping, swiping, and typing, students have fewer opportunities to develop the hand strength and coordination needed for handwriting, cutting, and manipulating materials. Many educators are observing increased fine motor delays. Our OTs are working really hard with students that they never had to work with before because they're not having the basic skills that kids come to school with. Students are struggling with pencil grip, letter formation, and basic classroom tasks that were once developmentally typical. These are foundational skills tied directly to independence and academic confidence. And I'm not a doctor or anything, but I know we've seen a lot of playground issues with kids breaking body parts, falling off monkey bars. And I'm convinced that the use of tech and the poor fine motor skills and the poor hand strength has something to do with it. I know at the beginning there, a bunch of kids were falling off monkey bars. I'm like, that's what it is. But anyways, fourth, there's a concerning increase in speech and language deficits. So I'll tell you, the SLPs have been sounding the alarm about tech maybe about more than 10 years, to be honest with you. And I know some buildings have invested in the banner that they put in front of the office, encouraging parents to keep tech away from the kids, let the kids play, don't use tech as a babysitter, and ask any speech-language pathologist in the district. Our caseloads are exploding, and we're convinced that technology has something to do with it. Less face-to-face interaction. Kids are used to just asking, answering yes or no questions. There's not a lot of deep thought. And parents truly, truly believe that this computer is helping their kids. This technology is helping their kids. They're working on websites that we as a district have recommended. I can't even remember a single name, but I know my kids were, I actually didn't let my kids use it. But so that's something that's truly impacting our kids' speech and language development. And we need to look at that because kids now are more interested in screens than people. And I've noticed when I talk to kids, a lot of them aren't making eye contact. A lot of them are like, want to get the conversation over so that they can get back to their tech because it's way more interesting than I am. Fifth, we're beginning to better understand the cognitive and neurological impacts of heavy technology use on developing brains. Frequent exposure to fast-paced, highly stimulating content can impact attention systems, working memory, and executive functioning. Students become accustomed to constant stimulation and immediate rewards, making it harder to sustain focus, regulate impulses, and engage in deeper thinking. At the same time, reduced time spent reading, playing, and interacting face-to-face may limit development of neural pathways tied to language, empathy, and higher-order reasoning. In short, we're shaping brains in a way that may not align with the outcomes that we value in education. And I'm sure any teacher in here would agree with me completely in what we're seeing in the students. That wasn't planned, I swear. Sixth, we must consider student data and privacy and security. With every platform we adopt, we're collecting and storing increasing amounts of sensitive student information. Across the country, there have been multiple data breaches involving educational tech companies. This raises serious concerns about how securely this data is stored and who has access to it. Families trust us to protect their children, and that includes their personal information. There are growing legal and ethical concerns surrounding some widely used platforms, including iReady. Lawsuits have raised questions about data collection, privacy, and developmental appropriateness. Regardless of outcomes, these concerns highlight the risks of adopting large-scale technology without fully understanding its long-term implications. And we are noticing that technology has often been replacing rather than enhancing good teaching. No program can replicate the impact of a skilled educator who knows their students, adjusts instruction in real time, and builds a strong classroom community. Over-reliance on technology risks diminishing teacher expertise and professional judgment. It's important to recognize that we're not alone in reconsidering this issue. Districts across the country are already taking action, dramatically limiting technology use in elementary schools, and in some cases, eliminating it altogether during the school day. These decisions are being made in response to the very concerns we're discussing tonight: student development, mental health, and the long-term impact on learning. We should be paying attention to these shifts and asking why so many people are moving in this direction. We also must consider equity. Technology is intended to level the playing field, but in many cases, it has widened the gaps. Not all students have the same support, digital skills, or ability to stay engaged in a screen-based environment. What works for some creates barriers for others. So we must ask ourselves, what are we preparing students for? Yes, technology is part of the modern world, but so are communication, critical thinking, resilience, and human connection. These are best developed through discussion, hands-on learning, reading, writing, and real interaction, not passive screen time. This is not a call to eliminate technology entirely. It's a call for balance, intention, and restraint. We should be asking, does this technology truly enhance learning, or is it just convenient? Is it developmentally appropriate? Is it protecting our students, not just academically, but cognitively, socially, and digitally? Is it supporting teachers or replacing them? Our goal should not be to keep up with trends, but to do what's best for students. I urge this board to take a thoughtful step back, reevaluate current technology use, prioritize human interaction, hands-on learning, and student well-being. Reinvest in experiences that build foundational skills, fine motor development, strong speech and language abilities, and healthy cognitive growth. And trust our educators to lead the way. Our students do not need more screens, they need more connection, more engagement, and more meaningful learning experiences.
So I do want to respond based on my previous comment. Well, I believe that we need to introduce AI to our kids because that's the world is going. It doesn't mean we don't maintain our traditional way of teaching. It's really important that we teach our kids. We maintain a strong commitment to the traditional method of teaching because we're building a foundation. But at the same time, introducing AI to our kids, it's essential because that's where the world is going. So we do have to maintain a balance.
I'm not speaking against AI necessarily. My main concern truly is the elementary kids who are opting for Chromebooks instead of paper pencil. And that's really where it's at. I understand as they get older, we do have to prepare all our students for the entire world out there. So I'm not up here
No,
disputing
no.
AI
and-
necessarily.
And let me clarify, and we've said this before, utilizing technology it's more than eliminating technology, it's how we utilize technology. You're not giving a Chromebook to a kid to keep them busy. We don't want to do that. We want to utilize technology the right way, but it's still at the teacher's level discretion to maintain traditional teaching. So I know you had a comment.
Yeah, I just want to mention that one of my goals from last year, the board goals, was to actually reduce technology use in the classroom by 25%. That is still an established goals, and it is going to be my goal for the next year. I want to just go on the record of saying that I am definitely for analog and relying heavily on the educator in the room. I do believe that our kids benefit more with human interactions rather than screens. And we need to really reevaluate that as we go. So thank you for your comments and for your points.
Trustee Vazzi.
I'd just like to echo Trustee Mosip and join him in that goal in our next school year, especially at the elementary level. I am not opposed to technology, but used it as a tool at the appropriate time, ensuring that, especially in the age of AI, that our students can have the critical thinking skills to understand what they are being presented, to understand the information, how to use the information, and not use AI as a crutch, to use AI as a tool at the appropriate age, at the appropriate time. So I look forward to continuing this conversation and finding that balance.
A couple of years ago, you might remember, we had a conversation about lunchtime and playground time. And at that time, we were coming out of COVID lockdowns, and we felt that the students were not getting a good balance of downtime during the school day. I think this is going to be another one of those opportunities where we're going to look at the way that we can integrate what we know the students are going to need as they go through the chains of education while still incorporating our good old-fashioned functions of learning how to sign their name in cursive and learning how to turn a page of a book and all the things that we all grew up knowing, but we have put into the closet. So I think that we can continue this conversation of advancing while still maintaining. We want to supplement, but we don't want to replace. So what we need to do is find that, and it's going to be a tricky balance because so many things are being heaped upon the classroom teacher now to incorporate into the day that but I think we can get very creative about this, not through AI, but through our own brain cells to find a way to make sure our students have all of those skills that are going to make them a well-rounded human being.
So I can speak on behalf of the team that we wholeheartedly agree with most of what you said. The monkey bars, I think you're onto something, but I can't agree with that right now.
It's okay.
But we've worked on it this year already. I think we're ahead. We're aware. And our leading question in designing our updated policy was, does technology replace or enhance our instruction? And so that leads us to defining what active and passive usage is. And I believe that's what you're saying. And then also the developmental delays that it may cause, not that, but a contributing cause to other delays, I think is something that we know as well and have worked on and will continue to.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item.
Next item is special reports, and we have one listed from Southwest Foodservice Excellence and Miss Emione Kreste. Did I say that right? Okay, how do I say it? Emione Okay, Southwest Food Service Excellence update from Miss Emione Kreste.
And Miss Courtney Burrows.
Oh, sorry, I only have one name here.
No.
So you're responsible for everything.
Good evening. My name is Courtney, and this is Emmy, and we oversee the food service department together. We're here to share a little bit about our department and give some updates. So as an overview, the district has been partnered with a food service management company, SFE, since school year 2019-2020. So we are in our 6th year of partnership together. And with that partnership, we work hand in hand. Emmy is a district employee. I'm here on behalf of the food service management company. There's a team of 7 of us that comprise the management team as a whole. We have a district chef on our team. We have 3 registered dietitians. One of them is responsible for the menu creation, special diets, allergens, anything related to development of those items. We also have a director of operations and a student experience manager. So a little bit about the program. We are a exclusively halal menu item. So all of our meats are sourced from certified halal sources. We have a focus on fresh. We offer unlimited salad bars at all of our buildings. The students can help themselves. There's a variety of fresh fruits and veggies that are offered daily. We have been CEP, which is a fancy word for Community Eligibility Provision, which basically just means that all of our students eat for free since school year 2019, so we're proud of that. Following COVID, that came out, but we were doing that prior to COVID, and we hope to continue to be able to offer that for years to come. We serve roughly 14,000 meals a day across 32 kitchens with over 160 hourly employees that work really hard for our kids and do a great job.
Good evening. I'm Emione Kreste. I'm the food service director for Dearborn Public Schools. Like Courtney mentioned, we work together hand in hand in our department. Compliance is my favorite topic of this whole presentation. It is definitely more complex than most people think, and the most common comment that you mostly hear is just food, and how can you mess that up? So I'd like to just emphasize that because it's a federal program, we are strictly guided and we are held to a high standards with our compliance part. Our meals, we follow an offer versus serve structure. That means, like Courtney mentioned, we offer a variety of food items to our students, and they are able to pick from those items that we serve on a daily basis. Our menus meet age-appropriate calories and sodium and low saturated fat levels, and we are required to offer the 5 components, which are grain, protein, fruits, veggies, and milk. With that being said, we get into the nitty-gritty of it to where at least 80% of our menu is expected and is actually whole grains. We have geared away from frying, so no cooking, no frying as a method of cooking. We've utilized the combi ovens, which are removing the added oils, and they're able to provide more a better structure of the food that we're offering to the students. Our menu also offers a variety of the vegetable groups from the red and orange and dark green and starchy and beans, which is again a required component in order for our meals to be compliant and reimbursed by the state of Michigan. Like Courtney mentioned, all of our food here is halal, and we source the majority of it and try to work with the Dearborn trust vendors. Like we are partnering with SAD, who is a very well-known vendor here and very trustful. So we are very happy with those products, along with some other certified companies as well. The next very important piece of this is financials. As I mentioned, we're about $15 million budget, fully funded by MDE through the community eligibility provision, and which, with that being said, for hopefully, if everything goes the right way, like it's been going so far, we are going to continue for the next 5 years because we just renewed that method of serving. So we're very happy to be able to serve our students that way. The reimbursement structure is pretty, I want to say straightforward. As far as the meals have all the required components and the students are going through the line and they have all of them on hand. We're able to count those meals using a point of system, and then we, at the end of the month, claim those meals and get reimbursed from the state of Michigan. And those rates are about $2.80 a breakfast and $4.50 a lunch, and they're usually adjusted every year in the summer, and a slight increase that get being reimbursed to us. Just like as we all know, like every other department, the gradual changes have affected us, our department as well, because multiple grants have been taken away, as you're made aware. It was a lot easier during COVID. You know, things were adjusted because we were going through a tough time. The tough time is still happening. We just don't have any grants to us. So we try to get or apply for as many that are out there as possible, which makes it a little more difficult now. That is, everyone's trying to apply for the same grant because there's only just a few available. However, we're very proud to say that about 13 of our elementaries will participate on a fresh fruit and vegetable grant, which is able to provide our students a variety of vegetables twice a week. And that's actually geared towards students trying things that they may never try before. Like, you know, jicama is a vegetable of choice, or a star fruit is another fruit of choice that they're able to try and just offer it. And often you hear the comments, I've never seen this before. Like, you know, this is amazing. So we're really happy, and they get to do a collective method of eating, and along with the teachers as well. And it's very beneficial to us because we're able to utilize this particular grant and purchase 10% of that grant. We can purchase equipment, and last year and this year alone, we were able to get about 12 two-door reach-in coolers, which have helped our schools immensely, and you know, with the need of new equipment that we're right now. UDIM, which stands for United Dairy Industry of Michigan, is also very good, is very resourceful and supportive with a few milk coolers. And then just recently this year, and kind of towards the last year, we received 2 grants, one for No Kid Hungry and one for Equipment Assistant, about $23,000 each of them. And for Fortson and Dearborn, we were able to get 2 top-of-the-line Winux ovens, which are combi ovens, which is sky's the limit. You can smoke, dry, dehydrate, you know, do all kinds of amazing, good quality food, and experiment with them, which will hopefully be the goal when we, you know, replace equipment, because that would be helpful not just for the students, but for our staff as well. Another amazing accomplishment last year, and especially this year, is being able to apply for the waiver to serve the iftar meals to our students. And this year we extended that to our elementary schools. It was so super successful. We served about 41,000 meals, reached to all of our students. They were able to take those meals at home, and they were all shelf stable, and it was a great turnaround. And I just wanted to also mention that, you know, we're trying as much as we can to make everyone's job a little easier, and also just I wanted to mention that our food service employees are just the most important component of this whole operation that we put together. They're the pit of our success, and we do a great job with training them. Believe it or not, our lunch ladies are required to attend 10 hours a year of PD, professional development, which we have extended and tried something great that worked really well this year, which was 15 minutes of training every week. We went into all kinds of different topics, trying to keep up with everything that's going on, because we are having a hard time keeping up. And now if we're missing links to just transmitting that information to them, we can only imagine that, you know, with all the food allergies and everything that's happening, you know, we're not able to execute that program. And the last thing that I'm going to say is we're working so hard. We're going through an administrative review. It was supposed to happen in January due to a mishap with the state. Hopefully will happen in May. We're preparing and trying the best we can to get all the records and all the hard work that we put in the past together for those reports, and hopefully we'll do a great job and fly with red colors.
All right, and then a little bit about culinary nutrition education. Above and beyond just feeding the students, we really try to make it a well-rounded program where they have access to extracurricular activities that we can provide during the school day and beyond. So whether that's a farmer's market where we set up during the school lunch period and The kids have an opportunity to sample different fruits and veggies they may not be exposed to otherwise. We have a great roving chef program where the kids are actually able to cook and experience those hands-on activities with our district chef. There's also nutrition education, which we try to weave into all of those other programs simultaneously. And then we celebrate all of the kind of food holidays and food months like National Nutrition Month. October is National Farm to School Month, so we celebrate Michigan agriculture with the Great Lakes Apple Crunch, and all of our K-8 students participate in that, where they bite into local Michigan apples. So it's really just a great opportunity for us to interact with our students and get to know them outside of the cafeteria. So where are we headed? Our goals for next year and beyond, we want to continue surveying our kids. We want to hear from them. They're our customer. They dictate everything we do. So launching a district-wide survey where we can really garner feedback on what they want to see on the menus, how they feel about the food, what they wish to have. We already know they pray for chicken shawarma, so that is something we are working on. We are also launching a Flavor Fest activity in October at the high school, so the students will have an opportunity to sample new menu items and provide their feedback in real time. And then that all feeds into continuous menu development. We always want to keep the program fresh and exciting for the kids. And then increasing our local purchasing and partnering with local farms. We already serve a variety of local produce here to Michigan, but we want to try to expand that the best we can and get those local, fresh, better tasting foods in the hands and bellies of our kids. And then as always, increasing participation, continuously updating our equipment, and pouring back into our staff the best way we can. That is all we have. If you have any questions, we are happy to answer.
So you said you have 7 people on your management team. Is that the outside service, or are you employed by Dearborn Public Schools?
2 of them are Dearborn Public Schools employees, and 5 are with SFE, the outside management company.
So what is the cost overall for the district for your food service? And what do we get in return?
The structure of the payment for the management company to partner with the district.
Mm-hmm.
It's a admin and a management fee structure, so on every meal that's served, there's a certain cent amount that goes back to the management company as a fee, and it usually averages about $15,000 to $20,000 a month, and our reimbursements are over $1 million a month.
My next question is, so we're serving approximately 14,000 students, okay? That seems to be pretty low percentage considering we have 20,000 students and they're entitled to free breakfast and lunch, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you feel the cause that we can't get more students to participate in our food service?
We have a lot of opportunity at breakfast, so that's where our focus primarily will be next year. With the surveys, and we hope to roll out breakfast carts and work with district admin to reach the kids in any way we can. We're always trying to get creative and serve the kids what they want, because if you serve them what they want, then they will come and eat. So it's a big focus on listening to the students and making sure that we're following through with their suggestions and recommendations.
And that would be my last question. So how many times a year do you do a survey?
We are currently in the process of conducting a kind of year-end survey to give us a starting point for where we're going to begin next year with developing our menus, and then we will conduct another one in the fall, in addition to some of the events that we have planned where we can garner that feedback in real time. At the elementary level, we typically just talk to the kids. It's a little more informal. We're there, during mealtime, or we're there for a roving chef event, and we ask them what they like, what they don't like. They love to talk, and we love to listen to them. They're awesome. So we get the most feedback that way.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
I'm glad that you're including more of what the students eat at home so they can eat at school. Have you thought of also surveying the parents as well and getting them to sample as well in some kind of events?
So there were 2 questions added this year to a survey that was sent to, like the general survey that was sent out in February. parents were included. Generally as the parents would ask the kids, so it's technically the kid. I mean, the menus are shared with the parents in elementary level. It's pretty obvious, they discuss what's for lunch tomorrow, and then the parents already know. So the options are there. Is there room for improvement? Absolutely. We're trying to always be creative. However, like I mentioned, the guidelines are very strict, and we can't always 100% satisfy what the kids are asking for, because even at home we don't like to satisfy what they're asked for very often. But as far as the older kids, yes, absolutely, there's room for improvement. We're going to work on that next year, especially with breakfast, offering hot breakfast and all kinds of variety items. But yeah, like we've tried to reach to the parents, but I mean, we've had some turnaround, just like with any survey. Like it's hard to know who's really answering.
Go ahead, Trustee Basil.
I just want to say that using food as education, I love those programs. Kids learn, and then the cultural sensitivity that we have with the foods that are provided and getting them exposed to new things. I do want to share with you, I had a fourth grader. I asked them, what is your favorite part about Dearborn Public Schools? And their response to me was, all the food is halal. And I asked them, well, why is that? They go, because I feel comfortable. I don't have to worry about what I have to eat. I can just eat and go off to class. That's from a fourth grader. And that really makes a difference, for them to feel comfortable in their environment. One question or request that I have, and I know we have limitations from a funding perspective about being able to do this or not, but I have gotten some feedback from, there are families that when we have vacations or when we have time off, right, their main food source for the kids is the food that they receive at school. And so at home, they start having trouble making ends meet. Now that may not necessarily be our place to provide that, but maybe on the lunch menu or something like that, having resources available. When they see the menu, they know that those times are coming, and we can make available. I know we have partnerships with nonprofits and such, but just making that more easily accessible for families that may have food insecurity. I think that's something that we already have those relationships. Communicating that may be good.
Yeah, there is, I think we've communicated, there's different resources that our district has published on the webpage. I think State of Michigan has another resource for during the summer, because it's kind of like a longer period of time that they're off, and it's called Summer ABT or Sunbucks. So all the students that have a form on file according to their income eligibility, they would receive an EBT card at home, and we do the best we can with the resources we have and our limitations. But I mean, this community is wonderful when it comes to helping each other. So that's the only kind of source right now, currently, other than, food service department actually sending food home to those kids.
So I guess what I'm saying is, I know we might not be able to provide them with the food, but even like the lunch menu, something at the bottom, food insecurity ? Visit dearbornschools.com/whatever.
We'll make sure. It's a very good point. Yeah, we can actually add some resources. I mean, maybe they're on the website, but not everyone is able to reach out. So yes, we will consider that, absolutely.
Thank you.
Trustee Azar.
Yeah, that's what maybe I missed it if you said it, sorry if I did. But how do you reach out? You said you reach out to parents. How do you do that? Just in general.
So the menus, we send the menus monthly. We send them to the secretary at every building, and some buildings actually print the menus. Some buildings just send them with Parent Connect, and then our menus are on our district website for the older kids that, and I think every building has newsletters, and it's on their actual school webpage. So.
Okay. And what about the survey?
Survey, I think Dan Patterson put together a survey, and there were 2 questions on the survey that was related to food service and satisfaction on that survey. So the general survey. The one, Courtney can talk on behalf of the...
So the parent survey questions was not all encompassing. It was 2 very basic questions, frankly, that went out on the bigger district-wide survey that was just completed. That's a great recommendation. We're going to work with the district to reach the parents, and maybe we can launch something this summer or next in the fall to garner some feedback. We do get feedback from principals in addition to the students. We have what we call a principal report card, so that is something that we do as well, but parent insight would be helpful.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I wanted to say that, where's my point that I was looking for? Oh, I know that you mentioned you were dealing with some difficulties for funding, as many are. And then I love that you proceeded to say, but here's what we did, and then listed off all the things that you did. So thank you for being, proactive, for being able to do what you need to do. I know it's very difficult right now. So we really appreciate it that, we're fighting for money alongside, so many other schools and districts. So thank you for doing that and not just saying, sorry, we can't find a solution. And then secondly, I just wanted to mention all the different touch points, and I think Trustee Bazzi mentioned one, but this is food as, food as nutrition, as education, as community, as partnership, as culture. And those things are all very evident, and I think that's so important to talk about. We're not just talking about, school lunches. We're talking about this in its entirety. So I really appreciate all that mentioning. And then the last point is, Emmy, you mentioned in your presentation that the compliance piece was your favorite. As someone who works in compliance, I really appreciate that too. So thank you guys so much.
My favorite topic.
Thank you.
My team can tell you.
I just wanted to mention two things. First, I wanted to acknowledge the team on the Ramadan turnaround. It was originally a middle school secondary initiative, and a few APs said, hey, can we bring that down to elementary? And they did it that quick. So I wanted to acknowledge that. And also, I wanted to acknowledge your cafe managers and servers in our buildings every day. If those people are not welcoming and smiling, it could be the worst part of a student's day or the part that they want to avoid. And it also determines how the rest of their day is. And so from kitchen to kitchen, I've just seen the staff be welcoming. The only thing they struggle with is when kids ask for more food and they can't. And it's so hard for them to say no, but like you said, it's compliance, right? And there's health standards. But I just wanted to tell all our cafe managers and servers, thank you for everything you do for our students every day.
I just want to I'm sorry, we're taking up too much time, but I just want to be specific with when they ask for extra food. They can get as many fruits and vegetables as they can from the salad bar. It's just the main entree that we get into the compliance.
Thanks for clarifying. They always want that extra slice of pizza or, I get it.
I'm pretty sure it happens on a little low note.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, no other questions. Thank you so much.
Our next item is citizen participation. Before we get to the cards, Mr. President, we have an employee to address the board, and so I'd like to welcome up to the podium Dr. Adnan Mughni.
So how much time do I have?
I don't know if that was decided.
It's not decided, but we'll give leeway. Go
Okay,
ahead.
thank you, appreciate it. Can I approach? I can give you this so you can follow along. Thank you.
Thank you. So for the record, we will adhere to the 3 minutes rule with the exception of Dr. Adnan.
Yeah.
He has leeway to address the board.
Hopefully I don't get as emotional as the last time, but please bear with me. Good evening, Board President Al-Jahmi, Board Trustees, and Interim Superintendent Sarur. My name is Adnan Mughni, and I'm the principal at McDonald Elementary School. I want to begin by thanking the community who showed up today. Please stand up. I want to thank the community, and I want to thank beyond the community, because I got a lot of support from all over the state. We have over 1,160 petitions signed. I want also to thank the people that were very positive in my support on social media. Okay? I'm here tonight to discuss the contemplated non-renewal of my contract. I'm asking the board to reject this recommendation because the administrative process leading to this moment has been procedurally flawed, factually inaccurate, and contrary to Michigan law, specifically MCL 380.1249 and 380.1249B. I respectfully submit this unified statement in response to the recommendation of contract non-renewal of my employment as principal. This response is grounded in my 13 years as principal with 7 highly effective and 6 effective ratings. If they're basing it on some evidence, why wasn't that evidence included in my yearly evaluation? Okay, why was it separate? Okay. I'm here to raise concerns regarding the evaluation process and potential violation of Michigan law, specifically MCL 380.1249 again, and 380.1249B. This law requires that evaluation be based on multiple measures of effectiveness and objective evidence. That raises a serious concern about whether my evidence and artifacts to support my end-of-year evaluation was actually reviewed before finalization or before the latter change. My end-of-year 2024-2025 school year evaluation was finalized on June 16, 2025, with a rating of effective, okay? However, on September 19, 2025, more than 3 months later, okay, that rating was changing to developing and later to progressing, cited as miscalculation in the system. So the miscalculation was noticed or found 3 months later. State law said that once the evaluation is finalized, that's it. You cannot reopen it. Okay? I was placed on a performance plan for the 24-25 school year. This plan, I was assigned 12 goals. Imagine that. 12 goals to work on. Usually we get 2 to 3 goals. That's plus. I was also responsible for the Douglas Reeves rubric that's in Frontline. That's another 150 things on there, domains and subdomains, okay? And I did that. I kept my mouth shut and I did it. I was also assigned a coach. 2 required review meetings scheduled for June 26th and July 10th, 2025 to review my performance plan. Both were canceled and never rescheduled. And I do have the cancellation in your packet, okay? The cancellation that was sent to me via Google Calendar. Because of this cancellation, my submitted artifacts and evidence for my 12 assigned goals were never formally reviewed or discussed. I was put on another performance plan for this year without closing the other plan, the 24-25, okay? With a written promise from my immediate supervisor that he would be transparent, fair, accurate, supportive, respectful, with integrity. However, that was not the case. I wasn't treated with none of that stuff. Additionally, on 11/21/2025, I submitted an appeal to the superintendent, an interim superintendent, requesting review of my performance plan with my immediate supervisor and both the incoming and outgoing union presidents on the email. The matter was redirected back to the same administrator who refused to review my performance plan by canceling the review meeting scheduled on June 26, 2025, and July 2025. In subsequent written communications, it was also stated that even if I review your plans or your artifacts and evidence, nothing's going to change. We will move with requesting that non-renewal of your contract. See email in the packet. The email is in the packet, okay? Which raises concern about whether the appeal process was meaningful, independent, impartial, and the outcome was predetermined. So my question is, why would you put somebody on another plan that you did not close the earlier plan, and then you go ahead and mid-year through the year, you send me a letter saying that you will be recommended for non-renewal of your contract? Why go through all the trouble? That's my question. The non-renewal letter states that I failed to meet job expectation. However, on June 16, 2025, my immediate supervisor finalized my year-end evaluation as effective in frontline. That is used by district to evaluate administrators, and also part of it is there's one version of the Danielson model for teachers, not just for, And my immediate supervisor, he's no longer in the district, wrote in the comments section, which is I included that also, that Adnan had an effective year. He did not just use the rubric to rate me, he also wrote it as a narrative in the comments section. But again, I want to restate this, on September 19, it was changed to developing and progressing more than 3 months later, okay? The law requires that a performance plan be a tool of growth, including regular feedback. For the 2024-2025 school year, the district failed to provide the due process for me. Because, the 2 meetings that were canceled, supposed to review, didn't happen. Again, end-of-year meetings were scheduled for June 26, 2025, and July 10, 2025. Both meetings were canceled by HR, and never rescheduled. My 24-25 performance plan was never formally reviewed or closed. Instead, like I mentioned earlier, I was placed on another performance plan. You cannot legally claim I failed to meet expectation when my plan was never reviewed. How do you know that if you never gave me that time to explain how I worked on the 12 goals, remember, 12 goals, and also the Douglas Reeves rubric, which is another 150 things on there. And I provided artifacts and evidence for all that stuff. So you can imagine how hard I worked for that. Under my leadership at McDowell Elementary School, student performance has demonstrated significant and measurable growth. For the 25-26 mid-year, which wasn't that long ago, okay, we had a consultant, and she made a comment. McDonald outperformed the district in math and in reading mid-year, okay? McDonald Elementary School was recognized as a Michigan Department of Education reward school for both 21-22 and 22-23 school year. This means we were in the top 5% of all schools in the state of Michigan, okay? On October 21, 2026, I signed that performance plan. I'm a team player, okay? I was hesitant to sign it, but my new immediate supervisor assured me, and she stated in her email, also I included the email, on 10/21/2025, she sent me the signed copy, which is I signed it. She stated in her email that you can expect the following from me: objectivity, respect, compassion, kindness, professionalism, support, a listening ear, high expectations, attention to detail, follow through, confidentiality, and growth mindset. My immediate supervisor also stated in her email dated 10/21/2025. She sent it at 11:29 a.m. Please see it in the packet. My intention is for this to be a supportive process, not a gotcha. The biweekly building visits will be unscheduled and will last 1 hour, 30 minutes for observation and 30 minutes to debrief. According to the performance plan, also see plan in the packet, established on October 21, the process was defined by a commitment to consistency, follow through, and support, specifically the plan mandated. Since October 21, 2026, there has been a significant departure from the agreed upon schedule and communication standard. January 12, 2026, the biweekly visit and debrief session ceased, so it stopped. We're supposed to meet every 2 weeks. No communication of why, whether it's through email or a phone call, okay? Nor was there a running document update to explain the lapse in the follow-through. On February 26, 2026, I received a calendar invite to sign up for one-on-one mid-year progress review on Thursday, so I signed up for Thursday, March 5th. This calendar invite was sent to all the principals of the Fortune feeder. So I signed up. Okay, I was coming back from Grand Rapids at the time, and my daughter was with me in the car. Okay? However, on February 27, I received a cancellation notice of something I signed up for without an explanation why. Later that day, I think, I received another calendar invite for March 10, 2026. Okay? The original agreement of the 25-26 performance plan emphasized that this process was not a gotcha and would be rooted in objectivity, respect, compassion, kindness, professionalism, listening ear, high expectation, attention to detail, follow through, growth mindset, a lack of communication regarding the canceled meetings, and the 3-month lapse in biweekly support. So the last time I met with my immediate supervisor was on January 12th. So that's almost more than 3 months ago. Okay? So let me give you a little bit on the unprofessional treatment that I've been given, and I never complained to anybody about this, but I need you to hear this. Okay? June 7, 2022, I met with my new immediate supervisor, eager to share the end of the year. At the time, we were using NWA, math and reading results, which demonstrated significant student growth. However, my supervisor dismissed the data, stating scores don't mean much. Scores don't mean much. Why do we give the kids assessment? Don't we want to know how we can help them, how we can support them? Okay? When I noted that I had been rated highly effective in 7 of my first 11 years as a principal, he disregarded that achievement, saying that it was merely a state requirement that doesn't mean much. Okay? He concluded the meeting by saying, "You will be put on a plan to get out. We need someone that cares about kids." March 18, 2024, at 12:45, the same immediate supervisor came to the cafeteria. I was supervising 5th grade lunch. He asked if you have time to chat. I said, yes, sure, of course. We headed to my office around 12:24 p.m., sorry. When we were in my office, he said to me, "You have 3 options: resign, get fired, or get demoted." Okay? I made my union president at the time aware of these comments. Okay? That's the only people I let know. Okay? And he also pointed to the chair in my office, saying, "You know, next year you're not going to be sitting there." Is this professional? Is this professional? Okay. Three years ago, I expressed a concern about a teacher to him, that the teacher was telling people in the building that I am working on getting rid of him before I retire, meaning me. Okay? I did share that information with the superintendent. Okay? She's no longer in my building. Okay? Right. September 19, 2025, during a meeting with HR, myself and the ADSA union president, when I asked why were the June 26, 2025 and July 10, 2025 performance plan meetings to review my plan were canceled, I got a very unprofessional response. I don't have to give a reason. Okay. When I mentioned that my evaluation for the 13 out of 13 years as a principal has all been effective 6 years and highly effective 7, the response I got, your supervisors were being nice to you. Okay? I also mentioned that my coach for the 24-25 school year stated at our last meeting on May 28, 2025 at 7:45 a.m., you are a great leader with a big heart. This is the person that worked with me. She was my supervisor when I was principal at Henry Ford. She's the one that gave me 6 out of 7 highly effective, because she saw what I did. She valued my work. The response I got from the administrator at the time, coaches don't evaluate. Moreover, in the same meeting, I was asked to retire to preserve my dignity and reputation. After the meeting, my union president advised me to file a complaint with EEOC, Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. This is Employment Act of 1967, ADEA, is a primary federal law prohibiting employment discrimination against individuals 40 years or older. Okay? That's what unlawful to suggest that, or even, yet, to say or suggest it. Okay? March 7, 2025, that was just last year. I came back from a meeting. I was out of the building by around 11 o'clock. And I was informed that one of my teachers yelled aggressively at one of her paras in front of 7 adults. Okay? I interviewed the adults that were present and got their statement. I sent over to HR. I got an email from HR asking me, what would you do in this? What would you do with that teacher? I said, I think we should have a disciplinary hearing for that teacher the way she acted. Okay? Because she yelled at another adult, another person. Even if it's a kid, you can't do that. You can't treat people with disrespect. I got a meeting with HR a couple days later, and my union president was there. I was told at the meeting saying that you should have seen this coming and you should have intervened. By the way, nothing happened to that teacher. Okay? He was not disciplined. Okay? March 15, 2025, during a meeting with HR, myself and the DSA president, when I shared the 2025 survey, which was positive, okay, it was put together by HR, actually, the survey. I had one of my teachers, one of my building union reps, send it out to the staff, okay? It was put down immediately. Both HR administrators saying that the ones that responded not applicable, instead of rating it disagree, they were being nice to you, okay? On March 10, 2026, this meeting was supposed to be one-on-one with my immediate supervisor, but I had HR and I had the ADSA president there. HR pretty much ran the meeting. It felt more like a discipline hearing rather than a review in progress of my goal. Okay? At that time, HR stated that since 2023, you submitted names of 7 substitutes, okay, whom I did not want assigned to my building, and to make HR aware that they were not appropriate with kids, including pushing, scratching, ridiculing students. I will do it over again. My job is to protect the kids. Okay? He went on, and one of the things that was said also by HR, that, you know what, you did not discipline that kid for lying because we could not corroborate his story. So a kid comes to you, and he said, this person pushed me. You're going to accuse him of lying because we don't have enough evidence? Okay? Also, disciplining a student for reporting an incident sets a dangerous precedent. Our job as building administrators is not to make a decision on subs that have been reported. I was asked to make a decision. What would you do to this person? Putting me on the spot. Because it's not my call. It's not. Okay? Either way, if I said, you know, this person should not come to my building and maybe he should not be in the district, all right? Either way, I don't win. Okay? Because I was accused, if you say, keep me away from your building, I was accused of, oh, that's an easy way out. That's an easy way out. You guys notice, can you follow the nitpicking, the way I've been treated the last 7 years? Back in October, my immediate supervisor was visiting McDonald School. Sorry, I skipped one. So at that meeting, still, we're at that same meeting. They wanted to use M-STEP data from last year for this year. Okay? Our goals, we never put M-STEP data on our goals. We put iReady data. That's what I had for my goals. And mid-year data was very good. So when I mentioned that, the response I got, consultants say what you want them to hear, they want you to hear. So because the consultant said, you guys outdid the district. I mean, you guys think about that. Back in October, my immediate supervisor was visiting McDonald School. First visit to meet with me. As she was walking in, 2 first graders were chasing each other, right? So I was kind of like, you don't have a system in place to kind of de-escalate kids? Okay. So I took her recommendation and we formed a committee, right? Crisis plan committee to deal with kids that are escalated. Right away. I don't wait. If somebody asks me for something that they want tomorrow, I'll send it yesterday. This is how I operate. Also mentioned that no walkie-talkies. So I reach over right away again, that same day, I send an email over to special ed asking if they have some funding to fund walkie-talkies. And I thank them for doing that. Also, we used some of the fortune feeder money to buy 3 more. So now everybody that is not a classroom teacher and not an ASD teacher has a walkie-talkie. So recommendation implemented right away. Okay? So back in December, my immediate supervisor was visiting. We were talking in my office, the phone rings, right? Listen, I'm very honest. I'm telling you. I could have said anything I wanted, but at the time I said to her, oh, it's one of the teachers asking whether we have indoor or outdoor recess, okay? Well, she responded by saying, well, you should have a system in place. So I added to my weekly newsletter that if the temperature is below 20 degrees, it feels like, and it feels below 20 degrees, we don't go outside for recess. Right on top of the newsletter, so everybody can see it. So we stopped making announcements, like indoor, outdoor recess. At this meeting, which is supposed to be a progress meeting, nothing positive was said about me or my job that I'm doing. I find it hard to believe that I'm running a school that I don't do anything good at that school. So when I got my mid-year evaluation.
Dr. Mohanty, I would love to continue hearing you, but we have to set a time limit. How long do you need right now? Could we set a time limit just because we still have over 20 cards?
I'm almost done, probably a couple more minutes.
Okay, thank you.
So I got 7 out of the 10 domains not progressing mid-year, none. Okay? So you got that. I don't want to go through the list.
Okay.
Okay? But non-progressing based on what? Okay? My performance plan that I've been working on, I got over 50 pages almost, was not open. You can tell, when people visit, it would say that. Last time it was open on this date, but it was not open. So how did you base my mid-year on what? It's supposed to be transparent, supposed to be based on data, right? Now, my positive feedback, my coach wrote on May 3rd, 2025, your leadership and spirit of collaboration is showing and making a difference. Heartwarming to get this kind of unsolicited feedback. More teachers feel the same way about you because she was talking to teachers as she was visiting and during coaching time. It was truly a pleasure and privilege to work with you, Dr. Emione. Okay? On January 12th, my immediate supervisor feedback, she wrote that in my plan. That was the last time, January 12th. Strong follow through, this is what she wrote about me, on feedback and recommendations. Proactive development and documentation of safety system, commitment to staff communication and preparedness, willingness to revise and improve systems based on reflection, effective use of resources and problem solving within a budget constraint, clear focus on student and staff safety. So what happened between January 12th and March 10th? Okay. In closing, I want to. The other ones you ladies and gentlemen, you can read on your own. Again, in closing, throughout my 13 years as a principal, I have consistently demonstrated effective and highly effective leadership. I have dedicated 29 years of my life to improving student achievement, strengthening school culture, and supporting staff and families. The record reflects sustained effectiveness, measurable academic growth, and strong community trust. Community is here. You can see everybody here. I'm happy to take any questions. Thank you.
No question. Thank you, sir.
So, Mr. President, we have a number, I counted close to 20 cards. Before I ask for something else, the president also allowed me to make this announcement. I received one yellow card that says anonymous. I can't read an anonymous card, so I'm going to motion for other reasons too. I'm going to motion for a 5-minute recess in a minute because we're going to be going very late in any case. So if you're the person that wrote this card, please find Mr. Mustonen and put your name on the card. Otherwise, I cannot read this card. And then at this time, I'd like to make a motion for a 5-minute recess because we're going to be here for a while.
I'll support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Say aye. Motion's approved.